boy.
Pray you, let's have no more fooling about it, but give me your blessing. I am Lancelot, your boy that was, your child that is, and your son that shall be.
I cannot think you are my son.
I know not what I should think of that, but I am Lancelot, the Jew's man, and I'm sure Marjorie, your wife, is my mother.
Her name is Marjorie indeed. Well, I'll be sworn, if thou be Lancelot, thou art mine own flesh and blood. Huh? Lord, worshipped might he be. What a beard hast thou got. Thou hast got more hair on thy chin than Dobbin, my Phil horse, has on his tail.
It should seem then that Dobbin's tail grows backward. I'm sure he had more hair of his tail than I have of my face when I last saw of him.
Lord, how art thou changed? How dost thou and thy master agree? I have brought him a present. How agree you now?
Well, as I've set up my rest to run away, I will not rest till I've run some ground. My master is a very Jew. Give him a present. Give him a halter. I'm famished in his service. You may tell every finger I have with my ribs. Father, I'm glad you're come. Give me your present to one Master Bassanio, who indeed gives rare new liveries. If I serve him not, I shall run as far as God is any ground. Oh, rare fortune! Here comes the man. To him, Father, for I'm a Jew. If I serve the Jew any longer...
You may do so, but let it be so hasted that supper be ready at the farthest by 5 of the clock. See these letters delivered, and put new liveries to making, and desire Gratiano to come anon to my lodging.
To him, Father!
God bless your worship.
Gramercy, what's thou ought with me?
Here's my son, sir, a poor boy.
Not a poor boy, sir. The rich Jew's man that would, sir, as my father shall specify.
He had the great infection, sir, as one would say, to serve.
Indeed, the short and the long is, I serve the Jew and have a desire, as my father shall specify.
He and his master, saving your worship's reverence, are scarce cater cousins.
To be brief, the very truth is, the Jew having done me wrong, doth cost me, as my father, I hope, being an old man, shall fructify unto me.
I have here a dish of doves, sir, which I would bestow upon your worship, and my suit
In very brief, the suit is important to myself, as your worship shall know by this honest old man, and though I say it, old man, yet poor man, my father.
One! Speak for both. What would you?
Serve you, sir.
That is the very defect of the matter, sir.
I know thee well. Thou hast obtained thy suit. Shylock, thy master, has spoke with me the day, and hath preferred thee, if it be preferment, to leave a rich Jew's service, to become the follower of so poor a gentleman.
The old proverb is very well patterned between my master and you, sir. You have the grace of God, and he hath enough.
Thou speakest well. Go, father, with thy son. Take leave of thy Jew, and inquire my lodging out. Give him a livery more guarded than his fellows. See it done.
Father, in. I cannot get a service, no. I've ne'er a tongue in my head. Well, if any man in Italy doth offer to swear upon a Pharaoh table, I shall have good fortune. Well, if fortune be a woman, she'll be a good wench for this gear. Father, come. I'll take my leave of the Jew in the twinkling.
I pray thee, good Leonardo, think on this. With these things bought and orderly bestowed, return in haste. For I do feast tonight. My best esteemed acquaintance. Hie thee, go.
My best endeavor shall be done herein.
Where's your master?
Yonder, sir, he walks.
Signor Bassanio!
Ah, Gratiano!
I have a suit to you.
You have obtained it.
You must not deny me. I must go with you to Belmont.
Why, then you must. But hear thee, Gratiano. Thou art too wild, too rude and bold of voice, parts of which become thee, happily enough, and in eyes as ours appear not as false. But where thou art not known, why there they show something too liberal. Pray thee, take pain to allay with some cold drops of modesty thy skipping spirit. Else, through thy wild behavior, I may be misconstrued to the place I go to, and thus lose my hopes.
Signor Bassanio, hear me. If I do not put on a sober habit, talk with respect and swear, but now and then wear prayer books in my pocket and look demurely. Nay, more, while grace is saying, hood mine eyes thus with my hat and sigh and say amen. Use all the observance of civility like one well studied in a sad or ostint to please his grandam. Never trust me more.
Well, we shall see your bearing.
Nay, but I bar tonight. You shall not gauge me by what we do tonight.
No, that would be pity. I would rather entreat you to put on your boldest suit of mirth, for we have friends that purpose merriment. But fare thee well, I have some business.
And I must to Lorenzo and the rest. I'll visit you at supper.
I am sorry thou wilt leave my father so. Our house is hell, and thou, a merry devil, didst rob it of some taste of tediousness. But fare thee well, there is a ducat for thee. And Lancelot, soon at supper shalt thou see Lorenzo, who is thy new master's guest. Give him this letter, do it secretly, and so farewell. I will not have my father see me and talk with thee.
Adieu. Tears exhibit my tongue. Most beautiful pagan, most sweet Jew. If a Christian did not play the knave and get thee, I must deceive it. But adieu. These foolish drops to something drown my manly spirit. Adieu.
Farewell, good Lancelot. Alack, what heinous sin is it in me to be thus ashamed to be my father's child. But though I am daughter to his blood, I am not to his manners. Oh, Lorenzo, if thou keep promise, I shall end this strife, become a Christian and thy loving wife.
Nay, we will slink away in supper time, disguise us at my lodging, and return, all in an hour. We have not made good preparation.
We have not spoke as yet of torchbearers. 'Tis while, unless it may be quaintly ordered, and better, in my mind, not undertook.
'Tis now but 4 o'clock. We have 2 hours to furnish us. Friend Lancelot, what's the news?
And it shall please you to break up this, it shall seem to signify.
I know the hand. In faith, 'tis a fair hand, and whiter than the paper it writ on is the fair hand that writ.
By your leave, sir.
Whither goest thou?
Marry, sir, to bid my old master, the Jew, to sup tonight with my new master, the Christian.
Hold here. Take this. Tell gentle Jessica I will not fail her. Speak it privately. Go, gentlemen. Will you prepare us for this mass tonight? I am provided of a torchbearer.
Aye, marry. I'll be gone about it straight.
And so will I.
Meet me and Graciano at Graciano's lodging some hour hence.
'Tis good we do so.
Was not that letter from fair Jessica?
I must needs tell thee all. She had directed how I should take her from her father's house, what gold and jewels she is furnished with, what page's suit she hath in readiness. If e'er the Jew, her father, come to heaven, it will be for his gentle daughter's sake, and never dare misfortune cross her foot, unless she do it under this excuse, that she is issue to a faithless Jew. Come, go with me, peruse this as thou goest. Fair Jessica shall be my torchbearer.
Thou shalt see. Thy eyes shall be thy judge. The difference of old Shylock and Bassanio. What, Jessica? Thou shalt not gormandize, as thou hast done with me. Why, Jessica? And sleep, and snore, and rend apparel out. Why, Jessica, I say?
Bye, Jessica.
Oh, bid thee call? I do not bid thee call.
Your worship is wont to tell me I can do nothing without bidding.
Call you? What is your will?
I am bid for to supper, Jessica. Here are my keys. But wherefore should I go? I am not bid for love. They flatter me. But yet I'll go in hate to feed upon the prodigal Christian. Here you may, Jessica. By Jacob's staff, I swear I have no mind of feasting tonight. But yet I'll go. There is some ill brewing towards my rest, for I did dream of money bags tonight.
I beseech you, sir, go. My young master doth expect your reproach.
So do I his.
And they have conspired together. I shall not say you shall see a mask, but if you do, it is not for nothing that my nose fell bleeding on Black Monday. Falling out that year on Ash Wednesday was 4 years in the afternoon.
What? Are there masks? Here you may, Jessica. Lock up my doors. And when you hear the wild squealing of the wry-necked fife, clamber not up to the casements then, nor thrust your head into the public street, to gaze upon Christian fools with varnished faces. But stop my house's ears. I mean my casements. Let not the sound of shallow foppery enter my sober house. By Jacob's staff, I swear, I have no mind of feasting tonight. Go you before me, Sirrah, and say, I will come.
I will go before, sir. Mistress, look out the window for all this. There will come a Christian by, will be worth the Jewish eye.
What sayest that fool of Hagar's offspring, huh?
His words were farewell, mistress. Nothing else.
The Carapat is kind enough, but a huge feeder. Snail slow in profit, and he sleeps by the day more than a wild cat. Drones hive not with me, therefore I part with him, and part with him with one who would help him waste his borrowed purse. Here you may, Jessica. Lock up my doors, and do as I bid you. Lock doors behind you. Fast bind, fast find. A proverb never stale in thrifty mind.
Farewell. And if my fortune be not crossed, I have a father, and you, a daughter, lost.
Emerge from ash from the past, or
This is the penthouse under which Lorenzo desired us to make stand.
His hour is almost past.
And it is marvel he outdwells his hour, for lovers ever run before the clock.
Oh, 10 times faster Venus's pigeons fly to seal love's bonds new made. Then they are wont to keep obliged, faith unforfeited.
That ever holds, who riseth from a feast with that keen appetite that he sits down? Where is the horse that doth untread again his tedious measures with the unbaited fire that he did pace with them first? All things that are with more spirit chased than enjoyed. How like a younger or prodigal the scarfed bark puts her native bay, hugged and embraced by the strumpet wind. How like the prodigal when she returned, with over-weathered ribs and ragged sails, lean, rent, and beggared by the strumpet wind.
Here comes Lorenzo. More of this hereafter.
Sweet friends, your patience for my long abode. Not I, but my affairs have made you wait. When you shall please to play the thieves for wives, I'll watch as long for you then. Approach. Here dwells my father Jew. Ho, who's within?
Who are you? Tell me for most certainty, albeit I'll swear that I do know your tongue.
Lorenzo, and thy love.
Lorenzo, certain, and my love indeed, for who love I so much. And now, who but you knows, Lorenzo, whether I am yours?
Heaven and thy thoughts are witness that thou art.
Here, catch this casket. It is worth the pains. I am glad 'tis night. You do not look on me, for I am much ashamed of my clothing. But love is blind, and lovers cannot see the pretty follies that themselves commit. For if they could, Cupid himself would blush to see me thus transformed as a boy.
Descend, for you must be my torchbearer.
What? Must I hold a candle to my shames? They in themselves, good sooth, are too light. Why, 'tis an office of discovery, love, and I should be obscured.
So are you, sweet, even in the lovely garnish of a boy. But come at once, for the close night doth play the runaway, and we are stayed for at Bassanio's feast.
I'll make fast the doors and gild myself with some more ducats and be with you straight.
Now by my hood, a Gentile, and no Jew.
Beshrew me, but I love her heartily. For she is wise, if I can think of her. And fair she is, if that mine eyes be true. And true she is, as she hath proved herself. And therefore, like herself, wise, fair, and true, shall she be placed in my constant soul. What, art thou come? On, gentlemen, away, our masking mates by this time for us stay.
Who's there?
Signor Antonio.
Fie, Graciano. Where are all the rest? 'Tis 9 o'clock. Our friends all stay for you. No mast tonight, the wind has come about. Bassanio will presently go aboard. I have sent 20 out to seek for you.
I'm glad on it. I desire no more delight than to be under sail and gone tonight.
Go, draw aside the curtains and discover the several caskets to this noble prince. Now, make your choice.
The first of gold. Who this inscription bears? Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. The second, silver, which this promise carries. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. This third, dull lead, with warning all is blunt. Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. How shall I know if I do choose the right?
The one of them contains my picture, Prince. If you choose that wherein I am contained, then I am yours withal.
Some God, direct my judgment. Let me see. I will survey the inscriptions back again. What says this leaden casket? Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. Must give for what? For lead? Hazard for lead? This casket threatens. A golden mind stoops not to shows of dross. I'll then nor give, nor hazard aught for lead. What says the silver with her virgin hue? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. As much as he deserves. Pause there, Morocco, and weigh thy value with an even hand. If thou beest rated by thy estimation, thou dost deserve enough, and yet enough may not extend so far as to the lady. As much as I deserve, why, that's the lady. I do in birth deserve her, and in fortunes, in graces, and in qualities of breeding. But more than these, in love I do deserve. What if I strayed no further but chose here? Let's see. Once more this saying graved in gold. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. Why, that's the lady. All the world desires her. From the four corners of the earth they come to kiss this shrine, this mortal breathing saint. One of these three contains a heavenly picture. Is it like that lead contains her, to a damnation to think so base a thought? Or shall I think in silver she's immured, being 10 times undervalued to try gold? O sinful thought! Never so rich a gem was set in worse than gold. But here, an angel in a golden bed lies all within. Deliver me the key. Here do I choose, and thrive I as I may.
There, take it, Prince, and if my form lie there, then I am yours.
Oh hell! What have we here? A carrion death within whose empty eye there is a written scroll. I'll read the writing. All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Many a man his life had sold. But my outside to behold, gilded tombs do worms enfold. Had you been as wise as bold, young in limbs, in judgment old, your answer had not been inscrolled. Fare you well, your suit is cold. Cold indeed, and labor lost, then farewell heat, and welcome frost. Portia, adieu. I have to grieve the heart, to take a tedious leave. Thus losers part.
A gentle riddance, come, draw the curtains, go. Let all of his complexion choose me so.
Why, man, I saw Bassanio under sail. With him is Gratiano gone along. And in their ship, I am sure, Lorenzo is not.
The villain Jew with outcries raised the Duke, who went with him to search Bassanio's ship for Jessica.
He came too late. The ship was under sail. But there the Duke was given to understand that in a gondola were seen together Lorenzo and his amorous Jessica. Besides, Antonio certified the Duke they were not with Bassanio in his ship.
I have never seen a passion so confused, so strange, outrageous, and so variable as the dog Judith utter in the streets. My daughter, oh my ducats, oh my daughter, fled with a Christian, oh my Christian ducats, justice, the law, my ducats, and my daughter. A sealed bag, 2 sealed bag of ducats, of double ducats, stolen by my daughter, and jewels, 2 rich and precious stones, stolen from me by my daughter. Justice, find the girl. She had the stones upon her and the ducats.
Why, all the boys in Venice follow him, crying, his stones, his daughter, his ducats.
Let good Antonio look he keep his day, or else he shall pay for this.
Marry, well remembered, I reasoned with a Frenchman yesterday who told me, in the narrow seas that part the French and English, there miscarried a vessel of our nation, richly fraught. I thought upon Antonio when he told me this, and wished in silence that it were not his.
You were best to tell Antonio what you hear, yet do not suddenly, for it may grieve him.
A kinder gentleman treads not the earth. I saw Bassanio and Antonio part. Bassanio told him he would make some speed of his return. Antonio answered, do not so. Slumber not business for my sake, sweet Bassanio, but stay the very riping of the time. And for the Jew's bond which he hath of me, let it not enter your mind of love. Be merry, and employ your chiefest thoughts to courtship and such fair ostents of love that shall conveniently become you there. And even there, his eyes being big with tears, he put his hand around him, and with affection, wondrous, sensible, he wrung Bassanio's hand. And so they parted.
I think he only loves the world for him. I pray thee, let us go and find him and quicken his embraced heaviness with some delight or other.
Do we so?
Quick, I pray thee, draw the curtain straight. The Prince of Aragon hath ta'en his oath and comes presently to his election.
Behold, there stand the caskets, noble prince. If you choose that wherein I am contained, straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. But if you fail without more speech, my lord, you must be gone from hence immediately.
I am enjoined by oath to observe 3 things. First, never to unfold to anyone which casket 'twas I chose. Next, if I do fail of the right casket, never in my life to woo a maid in way of marriage. And lastly, if I do fail in fortune of my choice, immediately to leave you and be gone.
To these injunctions every one doth swear. That comes to hazard for my worthless self.
And so I have addressed me. Fortune now to my heart's hope, gold, silver, and base lead. Who chooseth me shall give and hazard all he hath. You shall look fairer ere I give or hazard. What says the golden chest? Ha! Let me see. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. What many men desire, that many may be meant by the fool multitude who choose by show, not learning more than the fond eye doth teach, but unlike the martlet that builds in the weather on the outward wall. Even in the force and road of casualty, I will not choose what many men desire, because I will not jump with common spirits. Why then to thee, thy silver treasure house, what title thou dost bear? Who chooseth me shall gain as much as he deserves. Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. Oh, those estates, degrees, and offices were not derived corruptly, and that clear honor were purchased by the merit of the wearer. Well, but to my choice, who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. I shall assume desert. Bring me a key for this, and instantly unlock my fortunes here.
Too long a pause for that which you find there.
What's this? The portrait of a blinking idiot presenting me a schedule? I will read it. How much unlike art thou to Portia? How much unlike my hopes and deservings? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. Did I deserve no more than a fool's head? Is this my prize? Are my deserts no better?
To offend and judge are distinct offices, and of opposed natures.
What's here? The fires 7 times tried this, 7 times tried that judgment is. That did never choose amiss. Some there be that shadows kiss. Such have but a shadow's bliss. There be fools alive, I wis, silvered ore, and so is this. Take what wife you will to bed, I will ever be your head. So be gone, you are sped. Still more fool I shall appear by the time I linger here. With one fool's head I came to woo, but I go away with 2. Sweet adieu. I shall keep my oath, patiently to bear my road.
Thus hath the candle singed the moth. Oh, these deliberate fools when they do choose. They have the wisdom by their wit to lose.
The ancient saying is no heresy. Hanging and wiving goes by destiny.
Come, draw the curtain, Nerissa.
Where's my lady?
Here, what would you?
Madam, there is an alighted at your gate, a young Venetian, one that comes to signify the approaching of his lord. He bringeth sensible regrets, to wit, besides commends and courteous breadth, gifts of rich value. Yet I have not seen so likely an ambassador of love. A day in April never came so sweet to show how costly summer was at hand, as this false spurrer comes before his lord.
No more, I pray you. I am half afeard thou wilt say anon he is some kin to thee. Thou spendest such high day wit in praising him. Come, come, Nerissa, for I long to see quick Cupid's post that comes so mannerly.
Bassanio, Lord, love, if thy will it be.
Now, what news on the Rialto?
Why, yet it lives there unchecked, that Antonio hath a ship of rich lading wracked on the narrow seas. The good winds, I think they call the place. A very dangerous flat, and fatal, where the carcasses of many a tall ship lie buried. As they say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word.
I would she were as lying a gossip in that as ever napped ginger, or made her neighbors believe she wept for the death of a 3rd husband. But it is true, without any slips of prolixity, or crossing the plain highway of talk, that the good Antonio, the honest Antonio, oh, that I had a title good enough to keep his name company.
Come, the fool, stop.
Ha! What sayest thou why the end is? He hath lost a ship.
I would it might prove an end to his losses.
Let me say amen betimes, lest the devil cross my prayer. For here he comes in the likeness of a Jew. How now, Shylock? What news among the merchants?
You know, none so well as you, of my daughter's flight.
That's certain. I, for my part, knew the tailor that made the wings she flew withal.
And Shylock, for his own part, knew the bird was fledge. And then, it is the complexion of them all to leave the dam.
She is damned for it.
That's certain, if the devil may be her judge.
My own flesh and blood to rebel.
Out upon it, old carrion, rebels it at these years.
I say my daughter is my flesh and blood.
There is more difference between thy flesh and hers than there is between jet and ivory. More between your bloods than there is between red wine and Rhenish. But tell us, do you hear whether Antonio have had any loss at sea or no?
There I have another bad match. A prodigal, a bankrupt, a beggar who was used to call me a usurer. A prodigal who dares scarce show his head upon the Rialto. Let him look to his bond. He was used to call me a usurer. Let him look to his bond. He was used to lend money for a Christian courtesy. Let him look to his bond.
Why, I am certain, if he forfeit, thou wilt not take his flesh. What's that good for?
To bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me, hindered me 500,000, thwarted my bargains, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nations, heated my enemies, cooled my friends. And what's his reason? I am a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands? Organs, dimensions, affections, passions? When you prick us, don't we bleed? Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed with the same means, warmed and cooled by the same summer and winter as a Christian is. When you prick us, don't we bleed? When you tickle us, don't we laugh? And when you wrong us, shall we not take revenge? When a Christian, when a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. When a Christian wrong a Jew, what should be his sufferance? By Christian example? By revenge. The villainy you teach me, I will execute. And it shall go hard. Only I will better the instruction.
Gentlemen, my master Antonio is at his house and desires to speak with you both.
We have been up and down to seek him.
Here comes another of the tribe. A third cannot be matched unless the devil himself may turn Jew.
How now, Tubal? What news from Genoa? Hast thou found my daughter?
I often came, were ready to hear of her, but cannot find her.
Why, there. A diamond gone, cost me 4,000 ducats in Frankfurt. The curse never fell upon our nation till now. I never felt it till now. I wish my daughter were dead at my foot and the ducats in her ear. My daughter at my foot and the jewels in her coffin. No news of them? Why so? The thief gone with so much, and so much to find the thief. And I know not what spent in the search. Why thou loss upon loss, and no satisfaction, no revenge, nor no ill luck stirring, but what lies on my shoulders, nor no tears, but of my shedding.
Yes, other men have ill luck too. Antonio, as I heard in Genoa,
What? Ill luck?
hath an argosy cast away coming from Tirpolis.
Good news. I thank God. Is it true?
I spoke with some of the sailors that escaped the wreck.
Good news. I thank thee, good Tubal. Heard in Genoa.
Your daughter spent in Genoa, as I heard, in one night, 80 ducats.
Thou stickest a dagger in me, Tubal. 80 ducats at the sitting. I shall never see my gold again. 80 ducats at the sitting.
There came divers of Antonius' creditors to my company in Venice that swear he cannot choose but break.
That's true. That's very true. I'll plague him. I'll torture him. That's true.
One of them showed me a ring that he had of your daughter for a monkey.
Oh, out upon her, thou torturest me, Tubal. It was my turquoise. I had it of Leah when I was a bachelor. I would have not given it for a wilderness of monkeys.
But Antonio is certainly undone.
Aye, that's true. That's very true. Go, Tubal. Buy me an officer. Bespeak him a fortnight before. If he shall break his day, I will have the heart of him. For once he's out of Venice, I could make what merchandise I want. Go, Tubal, go. And meet me at our synagogue, Tubal. Go, Tubal. At our synagogue, Tubal.